Hello, my name is Pia and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I want to show you a purple card. I like purple, so let's do a purple card. This is including a couple of techniques, but we're starting off with stamping. I'm using my MISTI stamping tool and a rubber background stamp from Catherine Pooler and the Grape Crush dye ink for this. I'm inking tone in tone. The cardstock is purple and the ink is purple. I want to create a Plaid pattern, but I want to make the Plaid pattern more interesting than just how this stamp turns out. So we are going to, draw some extra lines to make it more beautiful and more elegant. Now, first off, we are stamping here with the background stamp. I'm giving it a good rub to get a good stamping. Now, it turns out that there was an area where I didn't get really good, so I'm re-inking the background stamp, and now I know that I have to give it a bit of extra squeeze, push at this area, and that should usually fix this problem. Well, I don't know if it's a problem, but it turns out next time I'm using the background stamp, it might be another area that is not perfect. And now it's completely as it should be. I have a silver pen, which I'm using to draw lines, extra lines on the Plaid pattern. I've chosen some specific darker purple lines in the pattern, and those I'm following so I get a really equal spacing between the silver lines. But I'm not stopping here at the silver lines. I'm also going to pick a black pen. This is from Staedtler. Pigment liner 0.8 black, and I'm also drawing lines with this one. Now it's difficult to see here on the video, but they are there and it looks really good. Next up is I'm just gonna die cut my base cardstock here because I want to be able to use it as a card front on the card base. So I'm going to use this outer edge with stitch markings at the edges. So now all we have to do is figure out what we're going to use on the card to decorate it. And I have chosen here a butterfly and bow die set. Now I want this purple color to match, purple cardstock to match my Plaid pattern perfectly. So I'm creating my own cardstock, colored cardstock, using the ink and just squishing it in white cardstock. This is a perfect trick if you want a specific color of cardstock to match your card but you don't have any in your stash. So this way you can get a perfect match. I'm choosing to die cut all the pieces. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to use all the pieces at the moment for the biggest bow, but I'm just die cutting them all just in case, because you can see I'm actually hesitating at one moment because I'm thinking, am I going to need all these pieces? So I thought, well, what the heck, I might as well just die cut the whole lot. Next up, my card base. I always make my own card bases for the most. I think for 99% of the time I'm creating my own card bases. Always top folding. I don't know why, but they're just my favorite. Using a Bonefolder to make the line and then giving it a good rub with the Teflon. I've got the Fawn Teflon Bonefolder. I am loving it. It doesn't leave those markings or stripes, as you know, on some types of cardstock. Next up, we're going to create a window in our Plaid card front. And I'm using an oval nested die set from Dynamics. This has cross stitch edge, but the cross stitch edge is on the inside of the oval, so it's not really going to be visible. I have found a sentiment stamp set. This is in English, please. It's a Danish brand called Guitar's Eye Design, and I'm choosing the sentiment Happy Hello because honestly, who doesn't need a happy hello at times like this? Times where the coronavirus is spreading all over the world. And stay safe, my friends, stay safe. But yeah, we need to try to be happy and hope for the best and be positive. So I've got this die cut with my die cutting machine, and I'm going to place it on my card front. I always do that because I like to sort of follow the process and always get a sense of, does it fit perfectly or not. For getting a great position of my sentiment stamp, I'm using a pencil with a light hand to get the oval of the window marked on my card base. And then I'm using a plastic grid sheet from Nellie Snellen, so it can help me position my sentiment stamp just right in the oval window. I mean, my abilities in stamping and putting a sentiment perfectly on a card has improved, I don't know how much, since the MISTI and grid line plastic sheets. Oh my, it's really gotten a lot better. I'm using my favorite sentiment ink, the Versafine Onyx Black pigment ink. It always gives me perfect results, and it's just such sharp, clean lines when you stamp, and you don't get that fussy look. I'm using the stamp Shammy from Fawn to clean off my stamp, and it always works. It works as a charm. Now I want a little extra with this sentiment, so I find this little cute stamp set from Concord and Ninth called Love and Hugs, and they've got some hearts in it. I've chosen one of the little hearts, and I'm going to stamp that also in the oval window using the same purple ink from Catherine Pooler called Grape Crush. So basically this is really a purple card, and purple is my favorite colour. I just love that colour. My husband knows it as well, but I love it. It's just, what's not to like about that colour, basically? But okay, we're not supposed to talk about my favourite colour. We are creating a card, so let's get on it. Using an eraser to remove the pencil line, and we are ready for next step. Now the card front with the window, I'm going to glue on some craft foam because I want to give the card a bit of dimension, and I'm actually trying to do something like, taking a shortcut, because I'm going to glue this craft foam on my Plaid purple card base, but not cutting the window out before I glue it on, because I'm kind of lazy at this moment. So I'm deciding to do it like this. You see, the window's not there. Oh, I just closed my window, but I'm putting in my oval die, and you can see I'm wiggling it a bit, because when it gets the grip, I know that it's positioned exactly where it's supposed to be, and then I can run it through my die cutting machine, and then I've got the window again, perfectly placed. And then I can use this piece of oval craft foam for another project. And here again, I'm just seeing if I'm getting the result I want for the card. Using my liquid glue again. I really prefer to use liquid glue at the moment on my cards, because it gives a few seconds of time to make sure that you've got things positioned just the way you want it perfectly. It gives you a little bit of wiggle room to get things to stay put. And I think when you're using a tape runner, I find sometimes it grips so quickly, and if you doesn't get it positioned at the right place, it kind of you might rip the whole thing and destroy some of the card bits and pieces you've spent so much time making. Now we've got the bow that we now are going to put together. I'm adding some 3D foam squares to give it a bit of dimension, and for the other bits, smaller bits, I'm using liquid glue again to put it together. Now if you look at the card on my left side, I have actually placed a piece of glass on top of it. Now my husband is a glacier, I don't know if that's the right way to pronounce it, so he's cut some pieces of glass for me, which is rather thick, and they are so good as weights on my card projects if I am using liquid glue. That's just a little tip if you know someone who works with glacier work. Okay, liquid glue again on the bow. It's ready to be used, and I'm placing it on the top. Oh, it looks so cute, but I still find there's a little bit missing, so I decide to use my black pen again to draw some stitch lines inside the oval window. And I'm so glad I decided to do this. And sometimes it doesn't have to be perfect. Don't worry about it. Just look at this. It's not perfect, but it's also a handmade card, so it's okay. This purple card, a happy hello, I'm going to send out to some of my crafty friends out there in the world. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed, and just stay safe. Hope the best. Have a good day. Bye.